It was a more decisive victory than expected. Barack Obama re-elected last night with more than 300 electoral votes. And despite weak economic growth and widespread displeasure with Washington, the country sent most of its leaders back, Republicans holding on to their majority in the House of Representatives, raising the question, can this same cast of characters get more done in the next term?
And in the coming weeks and months, I am looking forward to reaching out and working with leaders of both parties to meet the challenges we can only solve together.
And I'm joined now by Post Associate Editor Bob Woodward to try to answer the question, can these guys do that?
Well, I think they have to now because the stakes are actually higher. There's the fiscal cliff, which sounds abstract, but it means the expiration of tax cuts and enforced spending cuts, and the very neutral Congressional Budget Office says if these things continue as they are in the law, we're going to have a government-created recession.
Having reported in so much detail on the last debt ceiling negotiation, do you think the outcome is a big deal, a grand bargain, or another smaller?
People in the White House think that they can get a big deal, where they would get lots of new revenue from tax reform, that they would cut lots of spending over a 10-year time frame. I'm not.
And in exchange?
Pardon?
And in exchange?
In exchange,
what are they prepared to give?
What they're prepared to give. When I talked to the president, he said it's untenable to not say that you're going to not cut Medicare. You've got to cut Medicare. I'm 69 years old and I'm on Medicare, and it's a very nice program, but I could go to doctors all day. I mean, the meter's down and the government's paying, and I've got my little card and my number, and you can just about go and get 12 or 13 opinions on things if you were so inclined. That's not a good program. You have to find some way to get control of the spending.
How did you read Obama's win last night that was more decisive than I think most people expected?
Well, I know you say that. I'm not sure.
You expected this type of win for him?
Well, I thought it certainly was in the realm of the possible. I mean, it was also in the realm of the possible that he would lose somehow, but it's a big victory unless you look at what 59 or 60 million people voted for Romney.
So then forget the premise that it was more decisive. What did you make of last night?
Made of last night that Romney did not make the sale. He did not. He had some favorable circumstances. People looked at him, and I think he, in the end, wound up kind of being the nice Republican who has lots of money, who's all over the lot when it comes to policies and convictions and beliefs.
Some people look at this loss and say things are only going to get more difficult demographically for Republicans. They have some problems we saw in these Senate races on social issues, not speaking the language.
They have more than problems, and they should. I mean, those issues are in many ways 1950s issues.
So does the Republican Party have a decision to make about what its message, what its brand is? Does it have to make a course correction?
What the Republican Party needs now is a leader, and somebody who is going to define the Republican future in a way where it can connect to Latinos, where it can connect to African Americans, it can connect to women, and that's really up for grabs now. I think somebody is likely going to come in and redefine it, and that's what it needs, is a very serious redefinition.
As we sit here in the newsroom of the Washington Post, I can't let you go without getting your response to this. An apparent break-in yesterday at Democratic headquarters in Washington State. What did you make of that? Because your name was bandied about the newsroom. Someone suggested we need to dispatch you to investigate this.
I probably should. I mean, you never know. I mean, what's the lesson there? You never know. And Carl Bernstein and I are glad that the Watergate burglary occurred here in Washington, and we were local reporters and assigned to it, and there was a ethos in the newsroom where Howard Simons, the managing editor, and Ben Bradley, the editor, were always saying, where are we on Watergate? What's the next Watergate story? What's going on here? Because there was so much mystery about it, and there was such a sense of, come on, breaking into the opposition's headquarters, what the hell is going on?
Well, luckily you got to the bottom of that, and maybe someone is out in Seattle making a career for themselves this afternoon.
Good. Good talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.